The US dollar has been the global reserve currency since the 1940s, but that system is rapidly changing. Countries all across the planet are seeking alternatives to the US dollar in a global movement that is referred to as de-dollarization. There are so many examples. For instance, China and Brazil are trading using their local currencies. China and Russia have already de-dollarized more than 90% of their bilateral trade. Iran and Russia are also using their local currencies in bilateral trade. China has bought liquefied natural gas from the United Arab Emirates using its own currency, the renminbi, also known as yuan. The African continent has created a new system that's known as the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System, which will allow African countries to settle cross-border trade using their own local currencies, bypassing the US dollar. The countries of Southeast Asia in ASEAN have also created a system for cross-border payments using local currencies, which reduces their dependence on the US dollar. And in June, even longtime US ally Saudi Arabia joined in these de-dollarization efforts. Saudi Arabia's central bank officially joined the M-Bridge system, which is a system connecting the central banks of China, the United Arab Emirates, and Thailand, and now Saudi Arabia. And the central banks can use CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, in order to settle trade imbalances without the need for US dollars. And even more striking was a trip that Russian President Vladimir Putin took to North Korea in June. He met with the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, and in an article that Putin published in a North Korean newspaper, he said that Pyongyang and Moscow will, quote, develop an alternative settlement system that is not controlled by the West, and together they will jointly oppose illegitimate Western sanctions. So pretty much everywhere you look, from Latin America to Africa to Asia to Eastern Europe, we see attempts to create alternative payment systems, deals being signed to de-dollarize trade, and central banks holding other assets, not just US dollars. Everywhere you look, you can see de-dollarization, and this is now being acknowledged even by US-dominated financial institutions like the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, and even the US Central Bank, the Federal Reserve, has reluctantly admitted that de-dollarization is happening.